I'm out on the West Coast. My own daughter, one of the great loves of my life, Anna Schenck Edkill, is sitting in our ministry center on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. And, hun, it's nice to talk with you across the continent. You were there in that room as a newly graduated college senior. You had just graduated school. You were doing an internship in Washington on the morning of 9/11, 2001, and when all the events started to unfold. Can you recall what happened that day for you on Capitol Hill?
Sure. I remember, well, a lot has changed since then. I remember that back then this room was teal green and was still a bedroom. It hadn't quite become an office yet. So lots has changed, including the environment. But I have three distinct memories from that day. There was one, my first is that my cousin Leah was staying with me. And we had just woken up that day, and we hadn't even had a chance to turn on the TV or find out anything. And we got a call from you saying, "Have you heard the news? Do you know what's happening?" And so that immediately alarmed us and put us in high alert. And so we turned on the TV right away to find out what was going on. And of course learned that everybody needed to evacuate. So we immediately got a little bit of stuff together and headed out the door. And I remember that our neighbors were friends of ours at the time, and I was really nervous for them because I didn't want to leave and have people left behind. In addition to that, there was tons of construction going on. And so I was worried about the workermen who all spoke Spanish. And I had no idea how to tell them, like, let's get out of here. And just as I was starting to be frantic and worry about them, and you were trying to fax me some Spanish so that I could tell them what was going on, as that happened, this big giant man, who obviously was like a manager of some sort, walked over and just shouted, "Vámonos!" And that means "let's go" in Spanish. And literally all the men went filing out, and I said, "Dad, don't worry about it. We're getting out of here." I felt like it was like an angel from God, like, "Get out of here, girls, and go be safe." And so we headed in the car. We never did find our neighbor friends, but I'm sure they made it just fine. And we headed out and started on our normal track back to Virginia to be with you guys.
Yep.
And found out from another phone call from you that they were shutting down the road. So we just kept having to follow roads that were open, and we really didn't know where we were going, and we wound up in Clinton, Maryland at a little hotel. I still to
About
this day don't really...
30, I think about 30 miles away.
Yeah, you probably know better than me. To this day, I don't even really remember where it was exactly. I just remember getting there.
Thank God you got to that hotel and we were able to breathe easy. Of course, at that time, we thought the plane that eventually crashed in Pennsylvania was headed for the Capitol Dome, and had it hit that target, it would have engulfed the building you're in now and we're in then in flames. So thank God that it came out the way it did. And by the way, the neighbors were just fine. We later.
That's good.
Well, thank you for sharing these memories with us.